This is News 4 San Antonio Today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
It is what we do. Good morning. Nonstop news starts right now. We are the only TV station in town commercial free until the top of the hour.
Of course, we are keeping you up to date on all of the weather. Apparently, there is a round 2 to this, so Siobhan is going to come back and talk more about that. But first, we want to talk about this. We've got a major accident over on the west side of San Antonio. Photojournalist David Mendoza has been following it from Sky 4. I'm going to turn it over to him for the details. Hi, David.
So, yeah, a little more details on this. This is the eastbound lanes of Highway 90 in between General McMullen and Couples Road. When I first arrived on scene, we saw firefighters performing life-saving measures on a person in front of this vehicle with its emergency flashers on that you see in the middle of our screen. That person was pronounced deceased on scene. That vehicle was also missing its driver's side door. A little east of this vehicle, you see a vehicle that's missing its right side tail light. So just context clues here. I'm assuming that we might have had some collision between these two vehicles resulting in the loss of life. Currently, we do have 90 eastbound shut down because of this fatality. A lot of police on scene, traffic being diverted to the frontage road in the area with some traffic building up, I might say, but still working on getting official word from the police. I know that a little east of the accident, we also have some witnesses that are waiting right here and talking with police about what they saw and what possibly happened. But you know, it could be a vehicular collision. It could be a medical issue that resulted in a crash. We're still trying to get these solidified details from police for you. But that is what I've seen, and I can't find the driver's side door to the vehicle involved with the accident. I'm going to be above this. I'll let you know what else I can learn while I'm up here. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. We'll continue to check in. We'll have another update from him here in just a few minutes on this deadly accident on the west side.
All right, 6:46 now on this Monday morning as the freeze continues in San Antonio and the surrounding area. News 4's Christina De Leon has more. She's been monitoring the situation, keeping a close eye on the power situation and if you could be affected by all that.
She joins us now live from the Content Center with more on what we've been seeing this morning. Good morning, Christina.
Yeah, good morning, Joy. Good morning, everyone. You know, as Siobhan's been mentioning all morning long, we are getting a little bit of relief from the rain, but it's still freezing. And so we are going to be thawing later on today. A lot of us, though, still wondering, will we be able to keep that power on? And is a grid going to be holding up? We want to show you some pictures, basically, of CPS Energy crews working hard, basically. ERCOT updates every 5 minutes. Right now, there is still plenty of capacity on that grid with more reserve space to spare. That is the good news. We are only down to about 7 power outages across our city with about 220 customers affected so far. So things are pretty much better than what we saw over the weekend at the height of that storm when all of the rain and sleet and all of that messy stuff was coming down. Now in Austin, about 150 customers are without power in this. As the storm continues to move east and out of our area into the Houston area, we're talking several hundred people without power right now. So it's pretty bad. They're in the thick of it now. It's kind of moving out of our area, but we've got that big drop in temperatures right now in our area. Now, to make sure that we are okay, the U.S. Department of Energy just issuing an emergency order for the deployment of backup energy resources just to mitigate any blackouts that we may have in Texas. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. So far, we have not had that issue, but of course, we're going to continue to monitor all of it for you and keep you updated on air and online at news4sanantonio.com. Live in the Content Center, I'm Christina De Leon. Joy, we will send it back to you.
Christina, thank you. Conditions in Kerrville improving this morning after sleet covered the roads over the weekend. Most of that precipitation was sleet. A lot of ice accumulating on the trees and the power lines. Less of that today. Power did remain on for the majority of Kerr County, and visitors in Kerrville apparently made the most of the wet, cold weather.
I kind of like the cold because it's always hot here, so it's kind of nice to get a break from the constant Texas sun, but at the same time I wish I was home and not 120 miles away.
Now this Arctic chill will be the concern moving forward. Overnight lows in the teens in Kerrville this morning, so they're not quite out of the woods just yet.
Man, consider yourself lucky that you didn't live in Dallas if you don't like the cold and the wet and the snow. This is a look at some of the roads there in the Big D area. Many of the main highways across the Metroplex covered in ice and snow. And as far as flights, Real big issue. So 81 flights have been canceled today at Love Field. Almost 300 canceled from DFW, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but it is far less than what yesterday was. Yesterday, nearly 1,200 flights canceled in both of those Dallas airports. Here in San Antonio, 23 cancellations this morning from San Antonio International. 70 flights were canceled yesterday. If you are scheduled to fly out of San Antonio today, please check with your airline and give yourself a little extra time to travel. And speaking of what is on, what is off right now, school is almost across the board today canceled. Odds are your child's school district has closed for today because of the potential of ice on the roads. Many, in fact, most of the major school districts are closed. Northside, which is the biggest school district in town, is closed, along with SAISD, Judson, Alamo Heights, Harlandale, South San, Northeast, New Braunfels, Uvalde, and not a high school, but UTSA has also canceled classes for today.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Siobhan Anders.
The saying goes, it might be easier and quicker for me to tell you which schools are open. I believe, whether we're talking elementary, private, colleges, I think the only thing in South Texas that is open today far as school is Lavernia ISD.
Do you think there's going to be any learning done today?
Probably not a lot.
I don't.
But you didn't hear that from me. Yeah, don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to see attendance records for today. I have a funny feeling it's a real cold day.
But definitely, if you're on social media, check out your schools,
Yes.
Your individual school district to make sure that they, we didn't miss one.
Never know. Look at that picture.
That is
It looks
gorgeous.
like it's absolutely beautiful.
That's a real
outside.
picture?
Oh, it's
That's
the
our
real.
reward
It's our
for the
live
cold?
camera, and that's what our sun looks like. The cold weather usually brings in some beautiful skylines with the sun coming up, but it is. Don't let it be deceiving to you. It is beautiful, but it is really cold this morning across our area. We are definitely seeing, of course, things definitely heating up a little bit once that sun comes up. So we are going to be very excited about that. But record cold watch. Well, our record low is 18. Right now we're sitting at about 20. So we're going to see. The record is 20, so we may tie it, but over the next couple of hours, we might drop another degree. Tuesday morning, unfortunately, it's another record that could be set. We're looking at a forecasted low of about 19, so we'll see what happens. But we're going to see a gradual warm up. As far as today, all of the moisture is gone. Cloud cover staying well to the east. We are seeing those clear skies, so sunshine is going to be in our forecast. It always makes things feel a little bit better. It is cold all across the state of Texas, from 9 degrees in Amarillo down to 31 degrees in Brownsville. Here in our 4 zones, well, we have some teens up in the hill country, 20 in San Antonio, 19 in Hondo, mid-20s off to the east, and even out west, Eagle Pass right now sitting at 25 degrees. Those are actual temperatures. Now we're going to factor in those north winds, breezy today, and this is what we've got. Wind chills. This is what it feels like when you walk out the door. You need to grab all your winter things, hats, gloves, layer it up. It is a cold day today, and because of these temperatures and wind chills, we're going to see extreme cold warning in effect until at least noon today. So if you have to go out, limit your exposure outside and make sure you're bundled up. It is a cold one, and I know even the puppy dogs are not going to be too happy with this one. So another Arctic blast, unfortunately, is heading into the United States. It is expected, though, to be more towards the southeast than a beeline for Texas, but we are still going to feel the effects of this by the time we get to Friday. So we're not completely out of the woods yet. We are going to see warmer weather as we go through the week. That cold front comes through, then we drop down. Saturday, a high of about 45, overnight low in the freezing zone, and then 48 on Sunday. Now, this is a changing forecast. Once we get to about Thursday, we can give you some specifics on what we're expecting as far as those low temperatures. So it does look like it's going to be more of a dry system, so we're not expecting a whole lot of winter precipitation. So slight chance, but we're not expecting a whole lot. So 38 is what we're expecting today, 32 in the hill country. With the sunshine, things should start melting and turning to liquid. But unfortunately, anything not evaporating is going to turn back to ice overnight. 16 is what we're expecting in San Antonio, 14 up in the hill country. These are actual temperatures. It looks like the wind chills will definitely be in the single digits, if not a little bit lower. So here we go, 7-day forecast. We do get warmer. Early mornings, though, we will see some hard freezes for the next several mornings. We finally get above freezing in the early morning on Friday morning before our next push of that Arctic air comes in. So bundle up, stay inside, enjoy another cup of coffee, and have a great Monday. Just stay warm.
Outside here this morning, we have been following a major accident on the west side of San Antonio along Highway 90. We've received word that that is in fact a deadly crash, and so that closure will be staying with us through most of the morning. We do have photojournalist David Mendoza, I believe, out in Sky 4. He's been covering this for us from the air. David, good morning.
Hi, Joy. Yeah, unfortunately, it is fatal, and it is going to be closed down for at least, I would say, at minimum 2 hours. Here's one last look at it. Eastbound lanes of 90 in between General McMullen and Couples Road. Multi-vehicle involved accident, possibly resulting in a fatality. Currently, all traffic is being diverted at the General McMullen exit. 90 eastbound is closed, and like I said, will be estimated for at least a minimum of 2 hours due to the investigation. I will leave you with that. Drive safe and have a great day. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. That is the latest with your on-time traffic.
All right, finally, American climber Alex Honnold completed a successful free solo climb of Taiwan's Taipei 101 skyscraper on Sunday. That means he climbed the 101-story building without a harness or ropes. That's essentially what it means to go free solo. That is downright insane, and it's also a bit awesome. It's a whole lot awesome, honestly. Honnold's achievement is the largest urban free solo climb. Many stood below and watched him in person or watch. That would be weird, right? You're there in that building and all of a sudden this dude just walks up and you see him right there. But millions around the world streamed the event live on Netflix. Took him about an hour and a half to climb the 1,667-foot building.
An hour and a half?
Yeah, look at that view. At one time, about 20 years ago, this was the tallest building on the planet. That has since ended. They've built bigger ones, but it is currently the 11th tallest building on planet Earth.
That's actually really quick, an hour and a half. But a very long time to be using your muscles like that.
So that's what he's using, those little notches, those things that are sticking out. I mean, like I'm not minimizing it, by the way.
Have you ever gone like bouldering?
No.
That's kind of what he's doing.
No, I climbed stairs.
I tried it once. I did not look this cool. And you can hear from Alex. So he's going to be on the Today Show. He's going to be talking all about this climb, so we can hear from him exactly how he did that.
You said he was in middle school. He was like considered to be a great athlete or something like that. Didn't you see that?
I saw some reel on Instagram. Someone saying that he started in middle school.
You'll see him.